Hello, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, a place where we can learn about body language, nonverbal communication, and we play it nice and simple, okay? Nothing too complex over here, but very important information and a great means of being able to understand your fellow person, alright? So today we're going to be talking about office artifacts or room artifacts or basically ornamentation and props within somebody's living accommodation or office or desk or so on and so forth, and body adornment. So we're going to be taking it from the external space around them, the material possession, to the literal bodily possession, the adornment of the body, the tribal-esque means of expressing themselves within the world, okay? So if you like what you hear, click like. If you want to subscribe, please click subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously this is an incredibly broad spectrum of information we can delve into. So I'm not going to be saying, oh, if she has a plant pot, this is what she thinks. That's not going to be the case, but we're going to sort of delve on a bit of a train of thought and see if we've got any food for thought alongside that pops up, okay? So when we're talking about a person's house, a person's bedroom, perhaps if they live with others, a person's bedsit, it may potentially be a direct correlation and reflection of their inner mind. Okay, so if you are to walk in somebody's house and it is full of clutter, the person may have other things to be caring about aside from looking after the house and cleaning up after themselves, okay? Whereas if a person is relatively minimal, such as myself, I try to limit my space as much as possible when it comes to clutter. That could also be a representation of, you know, a representation of not being able to handle too much noise, okay? Because that's a representation of me, not being able to handle too much noise. And if you want to get deeper in it, potentially a means of, a lack of confidence in expressing oneself to such a degree, in comparison to somebody who's really pushed the boat out and really decorated the place, okay? So, I don't, you know what, I was actually going to defend myself then. Yeah, analyze that, psychoanalyze that. So, right, office artifacts. We're going to call them office artifacts generally because, you're going to see them knocked around your personal space, but we're speaking in regards to houses and rooms and like your car and stuff, all right? So it includes any objects that will take up space in the place of your existence, all right, given you have right to do so. This is a territorial thing, okay? So you believe you have ownership of this space, so you're taking up that space with photographs, plaques and certificates potentially, memorabilia, books, so on and so forth, okay? So it's an expression of personalities and values, definitely personal values. What you have on show tends to be what you're proud of within reason, all right? So obviously when we talk about clutter, the person might not necessarily be too willing to show off the fact that they haven't washed the dishes, but life gets in the way, right? And so it's a way of being able to analyze that and think, why is that going on, all right? Life gets in the way, doesn't it? When it comes to buying a car, have a look at the desk. Now, don't get me wrong, salespeople are salespeople, so you have to attend it with an open mind and understand that everything may have a purpose in regards to selling you the product. But have a look at the desk. You may find that their values lay with their children. You may find that they are a very work-driven, heavy sales, results-based individual, purely based upon the certificates they've got hanging out. What are they trying to represent, okay? What are they trying to represent, right? The office and the room tends to accurately reflect the impression the person wishes to make alongside a lower key, subconscious message that they are making towards you. All right, it's an insight to the mind of that individual. Now, let's apply this to the body, okay? Decorative means of expressing themselves within their bodies. People who want to portray a more creative personality or ear into the more individual style of things may wear overt items of clothing. It's not as rare as I'm sure it once was, but you know, you can read a lot into tattoos now. So what choice of tattoos have they got? How does that reflect who they are as an individual? It's very tribal, okay? So if we were running around painting our faces to identify with a particular tribe or crowd, what do them tattoos represent? What form of crowd are they trying to fit in with them, okay? Because there's a whole branch of different varied genre of tattoo and so forth, okay? Clothing, are they comfortable or are they uptight? You know, are they wearing smart clothes? Have they got up and the first thing they've done is put a suit on, or are they wearing jogging bottoms and just relaxed and calm and potentially don't mind, you know, the appearance as much as they are comfortable? Okay? Or are they somebody who has to put themselves out there with their best foot forward and wear, you know, fancy clothing and so forth? As far as the vehicles, do they have to hire? Well, not hire. Do they have to finance or lease a vehicle, or are they okay with purchasing a second-hand cheap vehicle? Is that okay for them? Will their psyche allow them to do that? All right. Do they just need a bedsit to live within their means, or do they have to buy an extensive, expansive house purely for a territorial purpose and for what they believe they are worth? Okay. Just some food for thoughts, interesting stuff. We aren't delving into any individualized, you know, stories this time around. It's just the world around us and what we do with the world around us represents what we have inside, and it's very important to pay attention to that, okay? So if you go and meet somebody whom you may want to spend a long time with in a sexual means, pay attention to the clutter, pay attention to their values, pay attention to what means the most to them, okay? Without further ado, I'm signing out. So click like, click subscribe. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye.